Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on this gorgeous little bell that you see right here. How cute is it? Now this one here needs the glue and everything, so it needs to be hardened, but as you can see this one here is complete with the glue. This is the part that you will see towards the end of this tutorial. Okay, you'll see the hardening of your bell to make it less like that. Okay, that's, as you can see, really soft and flimsy. But once you do this, and I'm just going to pop this on this side, once you do that, that's going to harden your bell. And I've mixed it with some wood glue, yep, and just some warm water. Okay, so you'll need a bowl. You'll need a bowl that you're going to wreck. This was a clean bowl. I used an old blue bowl that I never used for anything else. So a bowl that's you're not really going to use for food. Okay, you will need some thread. This one here is Bendigo Woollen Mills 4-ply cotton. I'm not sure if they still make it. It's a very old one, but it's a 4-ply, which is a lightweight or a number 2, sorry, or a very lightweight thread overseas. Now this one here, believe it or not, it's exactly the same. It's a sheepy's lightweight, but I find this one a little too flimsy. However, I'm thinking once, it's not exactly a white either, it's more of a cream. Once you pop that in glue, that will come out gorgeous. I'm pretty sure of it. Now you will need something round to pop under here. I've got a golf ball, believe it or not, in there. I was going to use this little rock, but it was too small. It might be okay for that one. Okay, so you'll need something round just to pop on there. I tried a balloon, not online, but I tried it off air and it just wasn't working for me. And so I went to the garage and found a golf ball, as you do. You'll need about between 7 and 10 grams of cotton, not much. Okay, it's a small bell. You will need your hook. Now I'm using a 2.5 millimeter hook today. It does call for a 3.5 millimeter hook. Okay, so I'm using a full hook size less. You'll need one stitch marker, you will need your scissors, and you will need your measuring tape, but just for, this is your measuring tape, but just for the first part of the tutorial. After that you won't need it anymore. It's just to give you some length so you can create this gorgeous little piece at the end of your bell. Yeah. And what else? That's about it. You've got your glue, you need some warm water. Obviously you need a blocking mat. You will need Glad wrap because you don't want to ruin your blocking mat. And you'll also need gloves. Don't do this without gloves, and don't allow young ones to do this. Only for adults, because we don't know how wood glue goes on our hands. It is chemicals after all. And that's about it, guys. What can I say about it? It is very basic, very quick to make. From there to there, it's pretty much the same stitch except the first row. And right at the end, you're just doing 2 rows. That's it. So it really is rather basic, all right? I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm just going to let you get started making your gorgeous Christmas bell. Good luck, guys. Alrighty, guys, we're going to start off by making 6 chains. But before we do, see this part here of your bell? This is actually the beginning thread of your work, all right? And I calculated that you would need roughly around 95 centimeters. But what I want you to do is grab your measuring tape and grab your thread, yeah? Just run it along the measuring tape until you get to 95 centimeters, and I'll tell you in a minute what that is in inches. And I'll tell you in a minute, it is roughly around 37.5 inches or 95 centimeters. Yeah, get rid of your measuring tape. Now that's your starting thread. You're going to need that at the end to chain 25 to make that thread, but we might not do it at the end. We might do it on the 2nd or 3rd row. Just leave that in mind. Grabbing this part of your work, wrapping it around your finger once and twice. You've got a tiny little tail, yeah? Now you are grabbing the back loop. Well, you're holding it there, yeah, and holding it here. Grab the back loop of your thread, hold it there. You can let go of all that now. Grab the other loop, pass it over your finger and just it actually just formed a slip knot, but in this really big load of threads. Now you're not going to work on this at all. You're going to ignore that for now and work with your working yarn. All right. So we're going to start off by forming, or I should say chaining 6. So yarn over your hook and pull a loop through. That is chain 1. Yarn over, chain 2. Yarn over 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Then you're going to grab your hook, pop it straight into the first chain you did, pull a loop through. Now just grabbing your working piece, your chains, you should have a little thread there and 2 loops there. That top loop that we just did, we're going to pull that through to the loop on our hook, chain 1, 2, that'll be classified as half double crochet there, and then chain another 3, 1, 2, and 3. And we are going to do a half double crochet in that center. That's yarn over your hook, pop your hook in the center space around all thicknesses, pull a loop through like so, and you should have 1, 2, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. That didn't work, but I will pull it through there on your hook. Now just lift up your loop a little bit because we're going to place a stitch marker on the second chain that we did. All right. And if you're not sure, it's not that stitch there with those 2 loops. 1, 2, 3, and on that 4th chain right there. Oh, that's going to be so tight for me to slip stitch into at the end of the round. Pop your stitch marker in there. And what you should see is that stitch there plus another chain just under it. All right. Oh, it's a little tricky, this first row, but after the first row, it does get easier, trust me. All right. We are going to form another half double crochet. So yarn over your hook into the space, pull the loop through, and I'm working over the tail. Yeah. 1, 2, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So you really do need to work over that tail. It gives it a little bit more thickness up the top. Yeah. Now for every 2 half doubles that you do, you need to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over your hook, 2 half doubles. 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Yep, another half double. All right, 2 half doubles, 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. All right, and that's your pattern for this round. How super easy is that? 2 half doubles, I nearly said 3. 2 half doubles, yes. And 3 chains. 1, 2, and 3. Just moving them over a little bit. And 2 half doubles. 1, 2, 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, and 2 half doubles, and then we'll count and see where we're at. 2. Just chain your 3 for now. 1, 2, 3. Hold it up. All right, what you need is 6 of these little points in the round, okay? This one is 1 point. We're not finished with it yet. We will be in a minute. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Because remember I said the chain 2 will act as a half double crochet in this round. So you're going to do 1 more half double right there. Super awkward now. And we're going to slip stitch into that stitch with your stitch marker in, or your second stitch from the starting round. And I didn't put it through the stitch, did I? Hello, you had one job. There we go. In, that's better. And there you go. All right. And that is what you should have. You can now see the points. All right. Now with this one here, all you're doing this is our very second row. Pop your hook in the space, pull a loop through, pull it through to the loop you are in, chain 1, 2, and this time we're chaining 3. All right, pop that hook in there. I'm sorry, let's try stitch marker. Hello. In the same space, you're putting a double crochet, and that's yarn over your hook in the space, pull a loop through. You've got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Now that's your double crochet. All right, and this chain 3 will act as a double crochet as well. So you need chain 1, 2, and 3, and 2 double crochets in the same space. Hook in, pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2, and you do a second one. And that's your first corner complete. You're jumping over these double crochets and straight into your corner, and you're doing 2 double crochets without losing the stitch. Let's try that again. No, just do the whole thing again there. So 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, all right, skipping your 2 double crochets, going into the corner with 2 double crochets. Yep, it's the same all the way through. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Each corner is the same, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. All right, it's not super easy, but it's easy once you get the hang of the repeat. So 2 double crochets in your next corner, 1, 2. They're actually called peaks, by the way, not corners. Chain 1 and 2. And 3 and 2 double crochets. Well, I got complacent. Don't you love it when you get complacent? Oh, can't you tell? Getting complacent. All right, 2 double crochets in your second last corner, or 1, 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and 2 double crochets in the same corner like so. And right in your very next corner, which is your last corner, you're going to pop 2 double crochets. Super easy, yeah? All right, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and 2 double crochets. Whoops, that didn't look like a double crochet. Looked more like a half double. Let's try that again. And 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. All right. So what you should have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corners. Let's try that again, frame this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 corners. Oh dear, get in frame, Mary. I'm doing well this morning already. All right, so now what we're going to do is slip stitch into that stitch with your stitch marker, pull a loop through and pull it through to the loop you are in. Take out your stitch marker. From here, guys, guess what? This is going to be your repeat row. So all you have to do is remember this row for the rest of your pattern until towards the end of your piece. Yeah. So you're in this stitch right here. You're going to slip stitch directly into that next one. Pop your hook in, pull a loop through and pull it through the loop you are in. Then you are going to slip stitch right into the space. Pull a loop through and pull it through to the loop that you are in. Yeah. Now what you're going to do is chain 1, 2 and 3. Pop that stitch marker in there. Don't do that third chain too tight. Don't do it too loose either. Otherwise you see these big spaces and gaps in between. You don't want to see that. All right. So we are doing a double crochet in there like so. 1 and then 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. and 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. In this round, however, we are going to be skipping 4 double crochets and jumping into the first corner. In actual fact, you just need to remember to put your 2 double crochets, chain 3 and 2 double crochets in every corner across your row. That's it. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 and 3 and 2 double crochets. Like so. Again, straight into your next corner with your set of 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 and 3, 2 double crochets. All right, so what I'm going to do is just pop this on fast for you, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. And off we go. And the last 2 double crochets in your space, 1 and 2, pull up the loop. Now what you should have is that double set in there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you should have 6 points, and it should start to curve a little bit. That is normal. All right, what we're going to do first here, and this is the best part, we're just going to slip stitch first into the stitch with your stitch marker, pull a loop through and pull it through to the loop you are in. Before continuing, just pop your stitch marker in that loop. It'll stop it from coming undone. What we're going to do here, see if you pull it, it won't come undone yet. We're going to do this part of your piece, this little chain space, because I found when I was making that piece, this little tie you see right here kept getting caught up in my work. So I figured instead of letting you fight with it, let's do it now. Now we've been working this way, so this is the right side of your work, yeah? What I want you to do is find where your little knot is, which it's right here, I can see it, and just for now pull it through that little gap you are in, yeah? Then grab your hook, pass it in the stitch. Actually, no, don't pass it in the stitch. Pass it in one of the spaces. Yep. Grab that loop and pull it back through, like so. Like that. Yes? I'm going to do that again so you can see what I did. Pop your hook in and you're pulling it through like that. Right? Then you are going to chain 1 just to lock it nice and tight in place. And then chain 24. 1, let's bring it out again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, without splitting it. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And that first stitch there will classify as your 25th one. Or if you want to do a few more, you can. If yours is not long enough, do a few more. We've got plenty of thread here. All right. Oh, I've probably got too much now. Sorry. I made you cut too much. But anyway. All right. So from here, this is where it gets a tiny little bit tricky, but not completely difficult. And I say that in a lot of my tutorials. It's just awkward, yeah? You want to grab your hook, pass it right to the opposite side of your work, yeah? Through the space before your space, right? On the opposite side, like that. Into your space. Yep. And just pull a loop through, like so. And then through to the stitch on your hook. Pull up a loop and give it a tug. All right, and what you have is that. It's a little weird. You can see that little thread there, but that's going to be fixed up in a minute. So just grab your tail, yeah? Grab your sewing darning needle All right, now again, if you want to do your chains, like more chains, like that's 25. If you wanted to do 30, you've got plenty of yarn to make it bigger. All right, so let's get a close-up. This is where we are, yeah? All you're going to do is finding some thickness, pop your needle through that thickness anywhere, any thickness you can find, pull it through like so, and now your little chain loop has been formed. Turn it inside out, so this is the wrong way we're working on now, and just weave your thread in here. Don't fuss too much about this weaving because we are going to be gluing over this. If you're not going to be gluing over it, then be careful and, you know, be more careful with weaving in so that it doesn't come undone. It shouldn't anyway because we've formed enough knots there. Make sure you can't see the needle from the front, and you can't. So I've gone one way, then I'm turning around, just going back the other way, but in a different area, of course, so that you don't unravel what you just did. And there you go, making sure you can't see the needle from the front. It's not too much of a difference if you do in this piece because it can't be noticed. Well, it's not noticed. Okay, one more time, and then we're going to cut. And this needle is now ready for the round filing cabinet, which in most worlds means rubbish bin. All right, give your work a cut. Just give it a tug and it locks into that place. Now, that's what you have so far. All right, now that's not going to annoy you when you're working, but that long piece of thread did annoy me when I worked. That won't annoy you, so that's good. Now your job, this is the best part, guys. That row that we just did, you are going to repeat that row for 3 more rows, and then you're going to meet me back here and we will focus on that bottom part. So your 3 rows should get you right down to here. All right, we've already done 3, which is your half double row. 1, 2 and 3. You need another 3 rows, and get back here in a moment and get excited because your bell will soon be complete. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of our little piece. How gorgeous is it looking so far? Alright, now you should have altogether 6 rows, and I've just accidentally taken my stitch undone. The last one. Hello, don't do that. Okay, and now what we're going to do is slip stitch like normal at the beginning stitch there, like so. Taking out your stitch marker, you're going to slip stitch across like normal. So slip stitch in that first stitch and then into the space like normal. All right, chain 3 like normal, 1, 2 and 3, popping your stitch marker in there like so. All right, now in this space you're going to be popping 6 double crochets, but only 5 in this one because those chains there will act as 1 double crochet. So really you're putting 5 double crochets in this space, and off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and your chains will act as your 6th double crochet in this round. All right, so now we're going to chain 1 and 2. Now remember in our previous round when I said we don't do anything with these 4 double crochets? Well, we do here. We've chained our 2, yes. We're going to pop a single crochet in the center of these 4 double crochets, so right over that stitch you see there. So pop your hook in the space, pull a loop through. You've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over your hook, pull through both loops. Make sure that stitch is fairly tight. Not too tight because you don't want it tugging, but chain 1 and 2. And then you're going to pop 6 double crochets in the space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Guess what? Repeat the process. Chain 1 and 2. Remember those 4 stitches? You're doing a single crochet around that middle section of them. Chain 1 and 2, 6 into the space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Guess what? That's it for this round. So easy. Chain 2, yes? Put a single crochet in the space. Chain 2, 6 double crochets. Chain 2, single crochet between the 4 stitches, yeah? Chain 2, 6 double crochets in the corner. Repeat that. Get to the end of this section right here. Put your 6 double crochets in there and wait for me there, and we'll talk about what we're going to do in our final round. All right, go ahead and do all those stitches all the way across, and I'll meet you there in a moment. Alrighty guys, I asked you to get to your last corner and do your 6 double crochets, but we still have a space here we need to fill up, so we still need to chain our 1 and 2 and single crochet in that space right there. Chain 2, 1 and 2, and slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker in, like so, like normal. However, in this round, firstly take out your stitch marker. You're going to chain 1, and in the same stitch you see right there, you're going to pop a single crochet. So pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, grab your stitch marker and place it in that single crochet. Okay, now that's classified as the first one in this space, so you need to pop another 5 single crochets across here, and it's in each stitch you come to, which is these tiny little loops you see there. So 1 there, 1 there, and so on, all the way across. So your first one is right next to you, which is there. Okay, so single 1, single in your next one, 2, single in your next, 3, 4, and 5. All right, now here in this space right here, you're popping 2 single crochets. 1, 2. You're not doing anything to that single crochet stitch that you've got there. You're going to jump over it, go into the next space and put 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. And now you've got 6 stitches across. So you're putting a single crochet in each stitch for 6 stitches. So 1 in your first, don't forget that one right there because that's a stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you've got your space. 2 single crochets in the space. Skipping that single crochet and 2 single crochets in your next space. 6 single crochets across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2 into the space, 1 and 2. Skip your single, 2 into your next space, 1 and 2, and so on. You're going to repeat that until you get to your last 6 single crochets. Do the single crochets, get to your 6th stitch right there, leave all this, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. All right, go ahead and do that row, and I'll meet you over here in a moment. Alrighty guys, I asked you to get to these last single crochets, and I have completed all 6 single crochets. We have our spaces left here, so we still need to put 2 single crochets in the first space, 1 and 2, 2 into the next space, 1 and 2, and then you are slip stitching at the top of that stitch. The first one we did, pull a loop through, pull it through to the loop you are in, check that you did the row complete, yes, then chain all 1, give your work a cut, and you're done. Seriously, you're done. Now, it is really soft and whatever else have you, so we're going to stiffen that up now, make it nice and solid with some glue, okay? Some wood glue. We're going to play with some wood glue and water. It's going to be a very quick tutorial in that area. It'll be done now. Grab your thread and needle, and you're going to weave your thread in. Now, obviously, that's the right side of your work with your little loop there, so you want to weave it in this way. What I find easiest is to find a little stitch at the back where you can sew the first part in so the knot is kind of hidden, yeah? Then you find some stitches anywhere you like and just weave them in. Try to use a thinner needle, guys. This is just not the right needle for this. And you know what the worst part is? I've got a thinner needle. I just got lazy and didn't get it. So notice how I'm just splitting some yarn at the back. Do just that, all right? And, put it through a bit further than that. I didn't put it through enough. So also making sure that you can't see this needle from the front. Look, it's not too bad anyways. You won't be able to tell once the glue is on at all, but it's better to make sure it's perfect. Go back the other way, like so, check the front, perfect. Pull that needle through, like so, and I would actually cut it there. Get excited, guys. You know what? If you used a really thick cotton and yours is already quite solid, I wouldn't worry about doing the next step. But for all of us, we are going to do our very next step. I mean, look, it's all out of shape and everything. Once you do that next step, it will be shaped kind of like the bell that it should look like. Actually, it doesn't look too bad like that. If you wanted to pop it on this tree that way, I did the same with this one here. Now, here's a little fact. That is a 4-ply and that is a 4-ply, but they're 2 different yarns. I used the exact same hook for both bells. So, I don't know. All right, a number 2 or a lightweight yarn. They're both exactly the same, but one is a different brand. So it goes to show you that there is a difference. Mind you, that is cream and that's white. So there you go. Anyway, we are going to now do the glue section. Let's get gluing. Alrighty, guys, here we go. Now, just a quick heads up. Firstly, make sure you are wearing gloves for this part. I have put Glad Wrap down on my blocking mat because I don't want all the glue to get stuck everywhere. I have an old bowl with a tablespoon there. I have an old golf ball which I covered with a cling wrap. Any kind of cling wrap that you have in stock will do. So I covered it in cling wrap, put a bit of sticky tape on it because it was a bit of a yucky ball. Now it's a golf ball. You can use anything you want. I couldn't find anything. I did want to use a rock, but it kept falling over. And this is the rock I wanted to use. I found it in the garage, but it just kept falling. So I thought I'll use this, put some cling wrap on it. You've got your little piece, yes. And I've just got some wood glue here. Now you need warm water, not hot, just plain old warm water. And all you're doing is putting, can you see that? Yes, putting a tablespoon of warm water in there, like so. It's only a small piece, so we don't need much. And with the glue, you need a tablespoon I put a little bit more than a tablespoon and a bit more. Pop it in there, and then all you're doing is stirring it up. I hope you can see that. That's all you're doing, stirring it up. There's nothing fancy about this. That's all you do. Pop this on fast for you. Alrighty, now you are going to get your little product, pop it in. I'm going to leave the spoon just here in a minute because I've got nowhere to put it. I should have put a little plate with me. And just, let me lift up the spoon a little bit. Just with your hands, just soak it into your glue. Nothing fancy, you don't have to do anything fancy, just rub it in with your hands. Really get into it, give it a squeeze. I'm going to put that spoon back in now because it's leaking everywhere. Give the piece a really big squeeze. Sorry about the lighting here, guys, because I'm working opposite the lighting. Alright, that's still your piece now. Okay, you know where the front is because you've got your little strap there. Let's move this guy out the way. Grabbing your ball, popping it there, and just, you know, adjusting your piece to suit you. And now all I'm doing is that. Now I'm going to adjust it to suit me. This is the way I want my bell to sit. Okay, I want it to sit like this. I find the golf ball a little too thick, so what I'm going to do is just, like I said, adjust the bell to suit me. I don't know whether you want to, I don't know what you want to do with this. Just maybe come back in an hour time and just pop it on the other side so it doesn't stick to your piece. I don't know, I've never tried this before with a bell, so this is going to be a very, very interesting piece. Alright, so there you go. Alright, so just let it sit there for however long it takes to dry, and that's your bell. You will actually see it on our live on Saturday. Oh, hopefully it dries by Saturday. If it doesn't really matter, guys. I will pop the other one on the Christmas tree for now, and when it dries I will show you this in one of our other Christmas tutorials and you can see how it dries. Alright, so that's it for today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share and do all those wonderful things that you guys, well, pretty much already do for me. Don't forget we have our lives at 4 p.m. Wednesday afternoons and 10 a.m. Saturday morning Melbourne, Australia time, and that's every week except obviously for Christmas Day this year. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to have some fun with your crochet, and hopefully this fits gorgeously on our Christmas tree. Ciao for now.